All right, OBS updated. Let me make sure all my sounds are all set. Oh, good. Loopback sources are still set to be good. All right, excellente. Okay, so before we get started today, you may have noticed I had up. I was so glad that the introductory stuff chose to put up star dance on the music today, so that was cool. So the reason being that I was going through some of my files this morning, just looking at sort of stuff that I've been been working on recently, and I was noticing that that I had like engraved this whole thing nicely. Like I had exported it from Logic and dropped it into Sibelius and set up a template and made it look nice and legible with all the proper articulations. So I had put that up. You can see the time signature. We get this nice 3+2/8 instead of just 5/8 to show everybody the note groupings. We're in a nice C score. Everything's all clean. Yeah, I was just looking at this. I was like, man, this looks like it took me a lot of time, and I completely forgot about it. Got a typo right here. There's an L in that crash, but anyway. So it's not perfect, but yeah, I had like written out all of it. I mean, there's the full orchestral tutti in the middle there with the big synth hit and stuff. If you want to grab that, you can grab it at my website. Let me go make sure that I've got it here. You can grab it at this link, which I'll put in the chat. If you would like to grab it, it's in the Twitch chat right now. Let's get to work on what we're actually doing today, though. Working on game stuff again, super secret game stuff. You know, completely, utterly secret. That's why everyone watches me compose it. We are taking an idea that I had that I really liked for this game. That sounded like this. I should have gotten this. I should have left this open today. I don't remember what it is. Anyway, it's a really sort of a fun little kind of 12/8 theme. Sounds like this. So yeah, it's a fun little theme. Originally, it was very, with lots of strings going, all that stuff. If I was a garbage at piano, I could probably play it a little better. But anyway, so I started working on that this morning. Just did a little bit. I mean, I think we've only got something like less than 2 minutes of music in here. But I wanted to kind of get started, so we didn't have any sort of false starts today. So let's listen to what we've got so far. Little popping. Okay, and then that's sort of a repetition at the beginning, but we'll probably cut that off anyway. So right away, a couple of little things we need to fix, obviously. These last E's in the cymbalin are a little bit aggressive. There we go. We need to shape this violin. I think it's a mostly good volume. Yeah, that needs to have a swell in it too. I think we could just do a straight up and down line. We don't need to worry about curving it at all. Okay, cool. We're going to actually get rid of that right now because I think I've got an idea of where we're going here. For a nice contrast, we want to balance our articulations, balance our feelings, overall moods. We've had it's been pretty bouncy up until now, so I think maybe a yeah, that I like that, but we're gonna use it somewhere else. 1, 2, 3. So another problem with this perpetually is that it's a lot easier to do when it's fast like this. With triplets in 4, in actuality, the piece is probably in 6 or 12, something like that. I'm sort of pulling a Hans Zimmer here. He likes to notate things with tons of triplets rather than change to a triple meter like 6 or 12. There's a great, if you go on YouTube, there's a great film score analysis channel video of one of the Pirates of the Caribbean tracks. This one where like a boat is flipping over. I don't know. I haven't seen the movies in a while, and I only saw them the one time. But it's a really lovely track. But the whole track is clearly in 12/8. Like you're feeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. The whole track is in 12/8. And if you look at the score, which they've gotten the original score and then they've made a reduction of it. If you look at the score that was written for it, I mean it's just triplets everywhere. It's triplets and all the YouTube comments are just like, this piece is not in 4, it's in 12. And it's like, well, okay. But, I mean, who cares? We're in a similar situation here, where our score is just triplets all day. Bum, bum, bum. Maybe if we do it like that. Yeah, if we switch to a triple meter, actually, but a 4 triple, it would probably fix it. Okay, so we're gonna do like a little, just fun little legato section here to sort of offset the really bouncy, folksy. I think we're gonna just double that, just straight up double it on the yeah, what if we did like a pedal down here? Okay. And this cello is obviously needing some taming. Oh, and really we're going to bring up these violins probably quite significantly. So let's just do that right now. And in this violin too, because we're connecting a region, we're going to need to do it in a way that makes sense. Just fix this. Oh, man. All right, I got to take this call real fast. I will be right back. Sorry, everybody, but I'm waiting on an important call from an insurance person. Sorry about that. A little bit of spam. We're supposed to have some inspection done on our home because they want to make sure we used our insurance money for good, not evil. But I keep missing their calls, so I'm being really diligent about answering everything. Yes, I like that. It's actually okay that that's really behind, because the reason it's behind is because of things that I don't necessarily control. What we're going to need to do is break this up into phrases and just go in and do some piano roll editing. There's just no way to get around that here. When we're at this speed, the only way to do this is to get these right. It's so hard to predict. Good. And what we may do here at the end is, instead of having this be on the, we actually are going to have this just hold that C the whole time, because what we're going to do is we're going to let our basses take that E. So I think what we'll do is we'll grab the basses. They'll come in here. Yeah. So they're going to come in here. Good. I'm not sure why I messed up that region. That should be snapping to that bar. Excuse me. This can be a new phrase. These would then all need to be and that's going to need to come down. Pretty good. I think that we're missing an opportunity to have a little bit more full harmonic content in 53 to 54 by having these be totally... Let's do this. Let's go to 51. Where's the beginning of 51? And let's just get rid of the rest of our violin 2 stuff, because they can start together. Something like that. Why? Why are you on viola? I thought I changed the track. Maybe if we went... It's better. It's still a little bit weak. Let's shape the viola now. because it's sort of set at like a I can hear it level, but not a it sounds good level right at the moment. I think having a little crescendo. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, and I think if we had some brass come in to fill that out a little. Morwick, hello. I saw you. I was watching Todd's stream, right? You had a piece? It was good. I enjoyed it. Was it the piano string one? It was very nice. I think. Well, yeah. I mean, aren't they all? It sounded good. It's got good ideas, which is the hard part, right? Once it's down to like taking those ideas and structuring them and stuff, you're in good shape. Yeah, it does. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I remember I used to do, when I was a kid, I used to participate in these Clavinova festivals where you would get on a Yamaha Clavinova and you would use the, like, terrible MIDI, what is effectively a DAW, inside the little keyboard that Yamaha makes. And you would multi-track record in each thing, and you couldn't see what the other tracks were. You would just switch tracks. And so you just ended up everything being played in live, and it was fun. And that's a hard thing to do. This has no shape right now. We're gonna have this jump up an octave. Right now that transition's super awkward, but I think we can do something to make this better. I think this all these tracks are being rendered on other machines. So the strings, brass, so most of the orchestral stuff is actually being hosted on a sample server. So I've got another machine that's doing just the sample rendering. So this machine is not doing any sample rendering right now. It will be probably because I'm running out of space on both my sample servers. Okay, now I feel like this cello is too loud, and that this viol is too quiet. Nope, no, not the whole thing, just this one. Although I will say, people are always like, oh, that seems so expensive, and it is. You know, it's, let's see, probably almost 10 grand worth of computing equipment. But I did all of Starbound on one machine with all the samples hosted locally directly in Logic. Almost all of it. I think actually all of it. So. Yeah, it does. It gives you a lot more flexibility. If I was a real pro, I would also have like a Mac Pro or something, but still don't hear that viola enough. I think what we need to do. I like where that is. This one needs to have more of this. 2 iMacs. This one that you're seeing the screen of my main one, which is a fairly new one, bought in December, about a year ago. And then there's an older one, the one I did Starbound on over here, that I'm using as a monitor and as a sample server. This can be so nice. Ah! It will be nice if I play the right notes. And then that's where we will cut back to our little pizzicato bouncy part. So actually, yeah, that's where we need to change time signature there. That's okay. So you use a program, as soon as I'm done recording, you use a program called Vienna Ensemble Pro. Let me grab the link here. No, unfortunately, you have to use this a separate product called Vienna Ensemble Pro. Where is it? So these people make wonderful, wonderful samples, by the way, but they're incredibly expensive. This is basically, so it has 2 components. It has a server component, which you install on the remote machine, and then it has a virtual instrument plugin. So this is what the virtual instrument plugin looks like. And what happens is, you can see that this says connected, and it's connected to another system that is running the server. Over here, it's just a Windows PC. This is what the server interface looks like. And so inside the server, you can load a patch. And then this computer over here, which I'm just connected to via remote desktop, is actually the thing rendering the things. And so what happens is the virtual instrument plugin in Logic routes the MIDI data over the network out to the other machine. The machine renders the sound, just like it would be in Logic, and then sends the audio back. It does require a gigabit network, the local network. So, yeah, give me a second. I somehow closed my Logic. No, I didn't. Did I? I did. I closed my Twitch dashboard. What a stupid thing to do. Dashboard. All right, now I can see the chat again. All right, cool. So yeah, that's how that works. Sorry, I couldn't see the chat there while I was showing you Vienna, but that's how that works. It just uses. It allows you to basically use. And this is, when you talk about high-end professional composers, this is what they're using to get a lot of stuff in. I hear Hans Zimmer just has racks and racks of true servers. I say it's a server. Mine is just a custom PC that was built that I bought for that specific reason. But really, if you're a pro, you've got like a real rack-mounted server, and you've got probably like one server maybe per couple instrument families. I run all my orchestral samples over there, so it's just nice because it allows you to sort of spread out the. You can always add more resources. Yeah, it's really nice to be able to effectively have, so both servers have 32 gig of RAM for me. It's effectively nice to have the ability to address 64 gig of RAM without having to pay the Xeon tax. I'm just going to do this. All right, let's add our harmony in. No, that's wrong. Yeah. And You know, I would actually say that yeah, Vienna Pro 6. Yeah. It's a really nice little program. I mean, it's like $250, so some people can't afford it, and that's totally cool. Let's try something different here. Usually, it's a lot of fours in there. A lot of four chords. And actually, we're probably not going to go back to. Oh, I'm not recording. Good. Okay. Cool. I'm just gonna do. I think I'm just gonna do open chords here. I may get rid of that legato-ness there completely on the last note. I think. Yeah. Let's do that right now while I'm thinking about it. This is also part of the problem. I could have sworn I fixed this. Yeah, it's nice, especially if you've got some. And honestly, Vienna, even running Vienna locally, will improve, in my experience, improved my VST performance. So I used to run just the server on this machine that you are looking at right now, connected to a local server, and even then, Logic is very bad at hosting VSTs. It is very inefficient. No, I don't like this now. All of a sudden, let's find how we're gonna. We've got 3 instruments. I mean, I might cheat a little here. Let's do this. Let's see if we can get a nice little. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, something like this. I thought it was a nice track. I thought it had really good ideas in it. And that's the hard part. Anybody can buy expensive equipment. Not everybody can come up with good ideas. That takes time and effort. Okay. So first of all, this is a little loud, but we're going to make this sound good. It's going to take a while, though. We're going to have to massage it. Nope. I want it down here to be in Control-Shift-E. Thanks. Okay, see if we can fill out the chords with cello, maybe arpeggios here, because the cello's been kind of just holding on to the notes. Something like that, and then we can use the bass to fill it out, and then we can use brass chords here to make the fill out. Yeah, tools are just tools. That's a good way to put it. I saw there's a great so the people who watch routinely are probably sick of me mentioning this. There's a wonderful interview with Ira Glass from This American Life from radio. He's a very famous radio guy, and he talks about in this interview about how in order to be, everybody wants to be good at something, everybody wants to do something artistic, and you just have to go out and do it. And you just have to he says, I think the exact quote is, he says, you have to produce just a tremendous volume of work. And it's work that later you may look at and be embarrassed by. It's work that you later may not like anymore. But that's the thing that gets you to the point where you actually are good at it. And to never blame your tools. Your tools are just tools. Like I say, every time I talk about this, this is a consistent theme. Some of the best orchestral writing I have ever heard is a guy on SoundCloud who was using like Equal Symphonic Orchestra Silver. It's like their $100 product. It's everyone looks down on it and says, oh, it's so old and crappy. But like, he produces really good stuff with it. The only thing that matters is that it sounds good. That's all that matters. And he has mastered those tools, even though those tools are not professional anymore. He makes them sound really, really good. And Todd was talking about this on his live stream earlier, where he was saying that VSTs are never going to sound like real instruments. I mean, I don't know about that. I think that you can convincingly replace real instruments with VSTs, but that shouldn't necessarily be your goal. The goal is to make them sound good. The goal is to make them sound like they belong. The goal is to make them sound correct and right. So, how do I find my game composer gigs? I met some developers on Reddit. That's how I got involved with Chucklefish, who made Starbound, which was sort of my big break, if you will. It was the biggest game I've ever done, I think, to this day. That led to some of those developers, when they went off to go do their own thing, they then would contact me because they remembered I did music for them there. That's how I got involved with Staxel. Bart is a guy from Starbound. So yeah, no, I met him on Reddit. I was just trying to make myself available. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just got lucky. Like, I'm not the best composer in the world. I didn't get that gig because I was the best necessarily. I got it because I happened to be there in the community when those people happened to be looking for a composer, and I happened to be involved in the discussions on the Reddit game dev forum and had posted some music, and that's how I got involved with them. And it was just being there. And before that, it was years and years and years of just showing up and being there, and not doing Starbound, not doing a giant game that everybody had heard of. It was I did this. I don't even know if it's still around. It was a mod for, I think, Oblivion, called the Middle Earth Role Playing Project. Right? It was just this giant mod where they were trying to take the Oblivion game and turn it into Lord of the Rings, and they needed tons and tons of like Howard Shore orchestral music, and they had some composer on with them, and he was overwhelmed, so he was bringing other composers on, and I was helping him out, and all of this was like totally for free. I wasn't seeing any, and it was on like Reason. Like, I was making all this music in Reason, or maybe at that point I think I was on Symphonic Orchestra. But I mean, it's hours and hours of music, and of course that's like days and days of work for nothing. I mean, just because I wanted to participate. But that's why when I finally, like, when Starbound came along and they're like, yeah, we love your music, we'd like you to work with us. If you watch some of my live streams from Starbound, I don't say this to sort of like puff myself up or make myself look good, but like, I would sit down and write a cue for Starbound in 2 hours. That's not because I'm amazing. It's just because I had been sitting and writing and doing tons and tons and tons and tons of music first. And then I was able to do that. So, there was that. And, I have an agent now, so that's nice. If you have somebody who you find maybe is able to represent you, that's nice. I would caution everybody that, saying, I just want to wait till I've got an agent is a bad idea for lots of reasons. But agents do help. I have a wonderful agent. His name is Fabian. He works with the Otherworld agency, which I'm going to pimp here because they are super great. The Otherworld agency. I just want to give them some love. Oh, that's my Twitch dashboard. Where? Yeah, they do wonderful work. They just did a game. I wasn't involved in it at all, other than just seeing that they did it. They were just involved with a THQ Nordic game. They just had a guy do one of their composers do This Is the Police 2. They've got their own record label. They're working with hilariously, they're working with Chucklefish. He contacted me, by the way, is how I got involved with them. He just sort of heard my Starbound music and said, "Hey, do you want to?" I mean, obviously, I would not maybe suggest that you send emails to this particular agency because I think they're full right now. I don't think they're looking for anybody. I think they're pretty full. But it's just theotherworldagency.com. I'll put it in the chat. So I think you can contact them and send them some music if you want. I don't think they're looking for composers at the moment. Hilariously, they're now involved with Chucklefish on a different game with another composer. So I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, through them is how I got what's the one I'm searching for? Interstellar Rift. Cartoon Survivor. Yeah, let me just. I know we're not doing a lot of composition today, but I always try to make my help other people. Through them is how we did Earthlight. They got me in touch with what is that company? OPX Space in Australia. They got me in touch for Interstellar Rift, so they got me Interstellar Rift. Or he did. It's really just one guy. It's just Fabian, and he got me Cartoon Survivor. So that's been a really nice relationship. But going back to doing things yourself. I mean, remember, I'm the one who found Chucklefish, and Morwick's in the chat, and I'm sure he's tired of hearing this. But for anybody else who's watching this now or later. I mean, yeah, it's great to have an agent, but it was me showing up on Reddit that got Starbound. It's me showing up on Reddit that got me Staxel. Airship's another one. I just there's a game dev forum or game dev classified subreddit, and somebody David Stark posted, "Hey, I need some music. Is anybody wanting to do music?" And so I responded. And I was just I still go there every day. I go to the game dev classified subreddit. I go to the game dev subreddit every day. Just look for people. Just make yourself available and show up and be there. And you'd be surprised. Now, obviously, it's a lot easier once you start to get a few. It was nice to go to David Stark for Airships and be like, "Hey, I did this giant game that you saw on Steam." So that's helpful. But he probably would have found somebody else if I hadn't been on there. Somebody maybe given their first shot, and that's proven to be a really great game, and he's a really great developer. So, anyway, I will step off my soapbox now about composing every day and showing up and doing all this work. I've got a message from my wife. Okay, all right, her flight was delayed. All right, I'm supposed to pick her up later. Obviously, we need a lot of transitions here. Okay, what were we doing? We were going to fill this out with cello. Why is my cello so quiet? Oh, because I turned him down here. Let's see how that works. I'm not super crazy about that, and honestly, it needs to not go back to C major here, because like I said, we're gonna bring back our opening there. Split. We're going to fill this out with brass, I think, is going to be the ticket to making this sound good. You work for Sony. How's working for Sony? I could see that being giving you a lot of opportunities. Been an underscore composer? Yeah, you the track you were you posted, I was like, this person knows how music works. It's all pre-production, lots of stress. I'm sorry that that's stressful. I have a friend who does. He's a composer's assistant. He's an acquaintance. I mean, I don't. He actually lives in not super near here, but not a huge distance away. I never see him. I went to college with him, but he does. He works with big AAA games. Seems the same sort of idea where there seems like there's sometimes a little bit of stress. But on the other hand, he does get to record with the London Symphony Orchestra, which is pretty amazing. I think he's the only person from my graduating class in college who can say he gets his music played by the LSO. Just dealing with writers and they change every time. Yeah. So are you like on staff there? That's kind of cool. Cool. One of 50, okay. I wanted to do film. I've done some short film work, not a lot. That was my initial plan, and it's just so hard to get into. So hard. I mean, people are like, how do you get into games? And I'm like, you just kind of get lucky, but I look at films and it seems like it's the same. I've done some short stuff here. You know, this one's probably my favorite, this Nova one. I think this one's interesting because it's an 11-minute short film, and it's just wall-to-wall music. I was really happy about how that one turned out. I'm getting, for 20 years, man, my composition teacher, one of my composition teachers in college, worked in TV and film, and yeah, it was interesting. He's the only professor I had in college who drove a Porsche. So how did you get into film and TV? I mean, 20 years ago, that's... Gosh, I cannot... I need to keep my eye on the score here. There's the F chord. There's 3 measures of it. There we go. Sounds good. All right, we're going to get this. F 1 2 3 1 2 3 G 1 2 3 A minor F. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm always interested how people got into film too, because it's cutthroat. I went to college out in LA. Gotcha. That's cool. Way to work those connections. That's good. That's what you gotta do. You know, people are like, people want to believe that the connections don't matter, but they do. You have to show up. My Neil, the composition professor I was talking about, who worked in TV, he used to always try to get us to go to Society of Composer and Lyricist meetings, for the same reason, because you just gotta show up. Like, because oftentimes it's who you know, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you can make yourself available. I've often wondered if I would like a gig that was more of like a staff gig, like Blizzard and I know Bungie, Blizzard, some other ones do all in-house music. They just have staff composers, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the power of buying someone lunch is huge. I want to put that on my wall. I'm gonna print that off. I'm gonna put that on my wall. Morwick. The power of buying someone lunch is huge. That's an amazing no, okay. That's an amazing summary, I guess, of the oh, you mean of staff composing. Yeah. That's an amazing summary of the whole showing up meme or idea. Why did something sound wrong there? It's so much stress to be a staff composer. Interesting. But come on, what if you were the person who wrote that? What is that Overwatch theme? Or no, maybe it's... By the way, how great is that Dorian feel? Ah, it's great. Would be cool to have been that person. I think we need to warm these strings up like a lot, especially the high one. Promise I'm going to get some work done today. I'm actually really enjoying today. It's nice to have some interaction. If you've got TV experience too, getting into games, you might be able to have some... turn some heads. We might put some guitar here. Ooh, what about guitar? What about to keep that sort of the similar... It's because this I know why. It's this cello is too loud. That's why. That's what I'm hearing. One and two and let's see if we could just get a C chord going. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's nothing amazing. But I want to know what it feels like because our eighth note is obviously changing. I have notated this in the stupidest way, and now I'm running into the problems. I should have just bit the bug and figured it out in 12/8 earlier, but oh, I quantized this wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I mean, let's try putting. Let's put in the. I want to put in the. Let's put in the suspended symbol. Obviously, that's... Yeah, I think that shows us that it's going to work, though, even though it's out of time. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Of course. I don't think we're going to do this guitar thing. I think it's too awkward. Try this. Let's smooth this out a little. I feel like it's too loud even when it gets to that. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know. We might not keep it. We'll figure it out. 4/4. Oh, we're gonna cheat. Look at all this. Look at all this overlap. If we were writing this for real orchestra, this would be a pain. I'd have to figure out how to integrate these, but fortunately we can have... It sounds great! Oh, new coffee. So good. I need some more coffee. How much do I have left? I just roasted this coffee last night. Got it a little dark. This needs... What if we doubled that cute little viola thing that's going... I think I would reinforce it. So many people... I just keep going back to that. The power of buying someone lunch is huge. Just because so many people just expect that they can go... And this is... And when I say so many people, I'm including me. Because the day I graduated from college... I don't want to say that I like felt like a job would just be waiting for me. But, I mean, there was a certain expectation that, you know... That I, you know, it's, well, I've got it. I've got the degree, you know, it'll just, and people just expect things to just happen. And you can't just expect things to happen. You can't just expect to get a job. You can't, I mean, and this goes beyond music too. Like, you can't just expect that you can't show up, that you can't do the thing that you... I think about, you know, I don't like the way that goes away. I had a lunch with Jack Redford while I was in college, and I just think back that how much of a missed opportunity it was for me to be in a room with a guy who orchestrates for Thomas Newman, and to just sort of have this, like, really passive attitude about how everything was going to turn out, how everything was going to go. I'm a very passive person. I mean, why didn't I could have asked him, I could have done what you're doing right now. How did you get into this? Who should I know? What's a good thing to do? And I did not do that, but I was really nervous, and I was just a really passive person back then. Much more passive than I am now. But, I mean, some of that just comes from confidence, too. If you are a passive person and you are watching this either live or on YouTube, know that I've been there too. I know it's hard. But it's not just about believing in yourself, it's about you don't need to be embarrassed to put yourself out there. Like, it's okay. It's alright. Because, I mean, if it helps, think about it as like you're doing someone else a favor by putting yourself. You're saying, hey, just so you know, I am an option for you in this, for this job or for this whatever. Like, that helps them. That's helpful to them. You don't need to feel like you're some smarmy salesperson. Yeah, games is pretty fun. Absolutely. Rule number 2, never beat yourself up. Okay, I want to hear this whole thing in context, make sure this is all making sense. Plus, it'll give me a chance to pontificate when we're on stream, which is... Really, why I stream, right? Yeah, games can be fun. I think games. I go back to what you were saying about how writers change everything. I felt like that even when I do short films. That like it's like, you send off your creative work and you're really proud of what you did and you spend a lot of time making sure that it's right. And I used to hate getting notes from like everybody in the world. Like the director says this and the producer says this, and maybe there's some consultant on who's helping them out with something and they want less symbol here or something, and it just gets, I found it was just like soul crushing, especially the way that TV and film music is like slave to those hit points. You definitely gotta be a special kind of person to be able to deal with that kind of feedback sometimes. But I will say that every time I actually addressed someone's feedback, I always liked that I had, even if I thought they were stupid. Like, I was always glad that I did go back and try something else, because oftentimes I came up with something better. Yeah, with games, especially the indie games, I find that it's you get much less nitpicking. Now, there's the other side of that where what you make is either they're either like, yay, or no, go do something else. But you don't get the like, hey, in Measure 57, can we have less elbow? Sort of stuff. I like this little Mixolydian idea here. I should put some brass on that. Well, there's already brass up here. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some winds. I have used no woodwinds. I'm gonna have to go get some coffee myself here in a second. Cool. I'm liking the way this sounds. In pre-production, it's a little different. I deal 90% with the writers before production meetings, so it's always a rush, and then sometimes I get a drawing on a cocktail napkin with make something epic and then sad, and then it needs to be 20 seconds long. Yeah, the post stuff, when you're in post and you're the final thing, because I mean, of course you know this. You're the last thing. You're the last serious creative contribution to the product, and you just get nitpicked to death. And also, because you're the last one, sometimes you're the one who's expected to save that thing that maybe that shot wasn't the best, or that sound take didn't have enough punch in it in that hit, so you have to go be the one to try to fix it, and they think that music can fix everything. The film people I work with are not like that. I want to be clear that the film people I've worked with have almost universally been excellent. I mean, there's the sort of the process problems that I have where I think too many people have input, but the people themselves are excellent, so. Now, games can be hard. What makes games hard? Let's think about what makes games hard. Dynamic scores can be really hard, where you need to have 3 layers, and they all need to loop seamlessly, and they all need to be crossfadeable, or maybe more than 3, 4 layers. I need to have beginnings and ends and tails and thing that a computer can just reassemble your score on the fly. That can get real hard. So we did this now. Let's sort of did this. What if we just what if we bring back, I like this, I feel like this is criminally underused, this this little Mixolydian idea with the subdominant, or the subtonic feel. Yeah, I mean, it is fun. The dynamic scores are fun. Sometimes it can be hard to wrap your mind around the whole thing. It does make you, when you play a game, be really appreciative and notice the score, especially. So, like, what was I playing the other day? I was playing Destiny 2, and I was listening to the score during a boss fight, and I was amazed at how responsive their score it was. So not only did it have like an action component that was, keeping up the action during the boss fight. You do this thing, but as you got closer to the end, despite the fact that you getting the boss down to 5% health. I mean, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 1 minute left. Who knows? It just depends on what you're going to do. And then the way that the score responded to that, and had an answer for it, and maybe got a little bit epic, and maybe it wasn't quite time to get a little bit epic, so it just kind of came back down and then came back up. I was really, really impressed. I've actually thought that some concert music that can do that. Just think back to that cocktail napkin. Yeah. Fortunately, I do sort of bespoke track, so I'm looking for general ideas. I don't do a lot of dynamic scores. They're very expensive to hire people to do, so it's hard to get into that, but I did do one. Here. Let's do a show off, because I need to step away from this because I'm liking how it's sounding, but I'm listening to it too much. I recently did one. I have to do this over here because I'm not sure I'm allowed to show the name of the game, but I did this. So this is a semi-dynamic score. So this is actually this is the export. This is a mix of the exports. So the dynamic layers here are, or the possible. I actually don't think they're going to use the dynamic version, but if you listen to this, so this is just a track. And what's happening is you're being moved by the game through an area. And then where is it? I think it's right after this part. Yep. So where that voice comes in, it can also loop back to the beginning if it needs to. Or it can, if you're moved far enough down the hallway, it'll cut to that voice part. And then there's like a point at each part where it sort of has two branches where it can either keep going through the track, which is what the track will do here, or it can repeat. So there's one right there. That voice is from the Heaviosity Vocalese 2 library. Another branch right there. The choirs are from Hollywood Choirs. And then there is a pad from Heaviosity Gravity. And then I think from here out it's just a bespoke track. It just keeps going. So those are all the branch points. I really like output. Output stuff is sometimes hard to mix, but I'm going to listen to the end of it because I haven't listened to this in months. And it'll clear my mind from what we're working on. It's kind of you to say thank you. Oh yeah, no, see here it's returning. That's right. For this export we actually went back and moved that other cell here. I forgot about that. Yeah. Output stuff just isn't. People complain about it like on VI control because it doesn't mix in well sometimes. Like you really have to tame it. I don't understand why that's a bad thing because sometimes you want it to really sit high on the track. Oh yeah, this is like a little piece that only shows a specific context, and then the narration starts. So some people on VI Control are asking me about a walkthrough for Hollywood choirs. This is Hollywood choirs. If you wanted to know what they can sound like, this is what they can sound like. Yeah, that's a very good point. It's more of a sound design VST. Yeah. It's so nice to be able to have a VST choir that can sing the Latin that you actually want to. Like, I wanted it to say this specific phrase. Heart EW, yeah, I love East West. These drums are also, I think, heaviosity. Yeah. Strings are all EW. Yes. Just adds so much thickness to the track to have the choir in there. So anyway, that is for a game that is, I think, now complete. I don't think it's getting wide release, but yeah. Well, I mean, I think they've announced. Let me see if they've announced the game. Yep, they have. They have. So we can show you what this is for. That is for Earthlight Lunar. So that is for the Walk on the Surface. So. This is a really cool studio. So I did their space station one. So it's VR. So you put on a VR helmet and you're like supposedly you're on the moon. So anyway, okay. Now that my brain is a little bit clear, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get some more coffee. Because I am sadly almost gone, and then I'm gonna come back. I will be right back. So give me about 5 minutes to go push the button on the espresso machine. See ya, Morwick. See ya, Morwick, if I don't said it like 4 times, but it looked like my mic wasn't on, so. Anyway, let's continue. That was also from Earthlight, by the way. It's from the Space Station one. Okay, where are we in this track? Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I wonder what would happen in Logic if I just changed my time signature to 12, 8. If it would be smart enough. Okay, already a few things we need to change. So I think this needs flute to back it up. Easy peasy. Bum 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 ba, da da da. Okay, good. Okay, everything is good. This transition's still not where I'd like to see it, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna mess with the tempo, because I think it's just a little bit too dramatic to go to the quarter there. But if we doubled it so that were the 8th, if this were like 3/8 instead of 3/4, and then all the note values were sped up, were doubled, or were halved, I think it might work a little better, but I'm going to need to cheat to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a tempo here, and we're going to add a tempo here. And what's going to happen is right here we're going to double it. So we're going to go to 260, and we're going to see what that sounds like. My guess is going to be too fast. We're going to have to choose some happy medium. Yep. Okay, good. So instead of 260, let's go to 150. So just a little bit faster than the quarter was. Pretty good. There's still something happening. I need to fix this now because it's going to bug me. This ba-da-da-da is a little weird. What's weird about it? Let's find out today. I think it's this, that this doesn't hang over that note. Hollywood Strings has a really hard time. It feels like when one of your MIDI events doesn't overlap the other one enough, like it starts to trigger the legato, but something goes weird, goes all sideways. These could also be a little bit. We need to start that transition earlier. Better. Now what I'm worried about is that when we come back... Sounds great. Okay, great. Okay. I think we're going to leave it at 150 for now. We're going to dip into the treacherous waters of oboe here. Okay, it sounds awesome once it's up the octave. Of course it sounds too low here. I should have realized that. It does need to be less aggressive. Close. Oh, so close, so close. We're so close. There's something that sounds really good there. Nope. That's what it is. Close. Hold on. Always practice your piano, or else you'll turn out like a garbage piano player like me. DT. All right. So close, so close. We're gonna get it. I'm at this point. I'm like gonna die on this hill of I'm inputting it correctly. So close, so close. Okay, so we're gonna go ba-da-da-da-da. So easy, right? Love it. Love it. I love that so much. The amount that I love that is... And the celesta. It's so cute. I almost wonder if it's possible to make that a canon with the clarinet staccatos. Like that. Let's find out today. I love it so much. Now, I think this is this guy controlled by... Yeah, he doesn't care about modulation. He only cares about velocity. So let's turn him down just a little bit. I think that's so nice. That is my favorite thing I've written this week. Let's cheat a little. Now we technically don't have a violin that is available for this. I just love it. I just love that. I am unreasonably happy with that. All right, in context. See that now this is the part of the session where I listen to that too many times because I like it so much. Still something weird happened to that viola arpeggio down there. I think it needs to be doubled. Maybe in like a bass clarinet. Now, this does respond to expression, I'm pretty sure, so I think I can do this. Yeah, there we go. Now, we have not yet abused the marked tree. I think this is our time. I actually kind of don't like it. Double all strings with woodwinds. Just kidding. I have no idea. I think doubling all strings with woodwinds is almost always an awesome idea. See all German orchestration, right? Or like literally anything by John Williams. I kind of sometimes like to have strings on their own because I find sometimes the purity of tone color is a little bit. But I actually think here we're going to actually do that anyway. I've been waiting to do this, but let's do it now that you reminded me. On our bassoons. Let's try this viola legato slur line from the little like hymn in the middle that makes no sense, but I'm keeping no matter what because I love it so much. And see if that fixes any of our weird transition issues. And we can actually just do. Oh, that's gonna be too much. Yes, just all of them. It's so much easier to just do it in the... Yes, the everything on the... Every time you hear a drone on that album, it's from a VST from 8DO called the Blend Instrument. And then I take the blend instrument and I put it through the built-in Logic amp simulator to give it some distortion. Put it through a bunch of convolution reverb to sort of smooth out the whole sound. That's all of it. Can we even hear this? Hi, Slimy, and Jonah, by the way. Hey, no problem. I don't like it when composers try to like keep that kind of stuff secret. It's like, I mean, it's just a sound design thing. Also, it's like a preset. Well, I mean, everything on Blendstrument is a preset. I don't know if you've seen Blendstrument, because today is the Curtis Talks a Lot day. Let's show you what it is. It is this VST, which, if you look at its, so this is just their overview video, you won't be able to hear what's happening, but everything in Blendstrument is randomized. So they have a button that just randomizes everything about the instrument. Yeah, don't want everyone to know you use presets. I use presets everywhere. Everything I do is presets. Ideas to me, music, I would hope that music ideas are important to me, not as much the sound design side. So anyway, but yes, I use presets on everything. Anyway, everything on Blendstrument is sort of a preset, because literally you hit a button and you hit this like little question mark and it randomizes the instrument. You can sort of switch up the sources that it uses and kind of what happens, and you do have fine-grained control, and you can save it. But I think I just sat there and hit random until I had a texture that I liked. So, anyway. All right, let's do something interesting now. What if we went? I kind of like that little progression there. And once again, I'm paying for the fact that I did this in 4 instead of 12. Tick 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 dun 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 dun. Probably not gonna work. Let's find out. I had an extra note in there. I do occasionally attempt to modify them so it's not like, you know, the same sound you've heard a million times, but helps if you start like on the one. It also helps if you write in the correct time signature. Dun, dun. There's an extra C in there. So. Let's move this over. Oh, whatever. I like this idea. Let's just do this. Let's just cheat. Why force yourself to actually fix the fundamental problems in how you architected a track when you can just edit the MIDI data? You know, speaking of presets and using presets, I was listening to, I don't know if you saw me tweet, it was probably months ago, it was back when Mass Effect came out, but you can hear the output signal piano all over that score, just totally unmodified. And you know what? It works. It's not Logic's fault. This is my fault. I knew from the very beginning that this piece is in 12/8. I mean, you can hear it at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But it was easier for me to program thinking about it in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 with triplets. So now I've got this Hans Zimmer-esque score with triplets everywhere instead of being in a time signature. That is correct. I don't know if you were here for the beginning of the stream when I was talking about that Pirates of the Caribbean cue on film music analysis. That is just, I mean, it is painful to look at. If I was going to have real instruments play this, I might fix it, maybe, if I was a good person. I got to find this, because I got to show you this, because it makes me feel less terrible. Film score analysis. I got to show you this, because it makes me feel better about my terrible practices. Let's find it. Film score analysis. Pirates of... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, up is down. This one. Oh, can't let the thing... But look at this. Look at this. Look at this score. 12/8 rhythm. And, like, if you keep going over here, like... Oop, oop, oop. Well, don't let that sound come through. I mean, look at this. It's just triplets, 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 and it's all written like this. Apparently, the actual score is written like this too. And the YouTube comments are just savage. Like, Zimmer's a garbage composer. He doesn't write in the right time signatures. Once again, more triplet figures. More triplet figures! Let's do those in... It's hilarious. So I'm doing that exact same thing. So I cannot say that I am any better, because that's essentially the exact same problem that I'm having now. I might like that an octave lower or not at all. If I were smarter, I would have set up my template so that I could divide the cellos and just have half the cellos be staccato and half the cellos be pizzicato, but I didn't do that, so... Cool, that's a nice little bit of transition material. Let's also double that on the bass clarinet staccato because I'm a terrible person. Oops. Paste that original position, please. Okay. Where are we going, though? Where is it transitioning to? I think it's gonna... We could do one more statement of our primary theme and then call it a day as far as this track goes. All right. I want to hear this whole thing again. Bum, 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 bum. It's a little awkward, that transition there. we're gonna have to fix it anyway. Might as well fix it now. Yeah, all it needs really is one note from the cimbalin. Suddenly everything is fixed. It's a little loud. Let's leave it. See, notice how there's that really awkward, like 5 to 6 change in the middle of the measure when it's in a 4/2. It's because it's not in 4. That is so awkward, and I am keeping it. Later, when you see this on the score to this game, and that entire section is missing, you'll know why. Use that just as a guide. It sounds really dumb by itself. But if we, first of all, cheated a little bit and made this an E minor-ish. No, here. Okay, yeah. Oh, I quantized it to triplets because that's what my quantization is set to. Hilarious. We can just move this up to A. I mean, that's kind of a fun statement of that, but I'm concerned about its dupleness. Yeah, it's too it sounds so bad. Okay. Okay. I would love to have that theme mentioned here somewhere. Probably the easiest and cheapest way to have that theme mentioned is maybe... Yeah, like that, like that, like that. When you play a wrong note, just play it 2 more times, and then it sounds like it was the right note. It was just preparing a... It's just preparing a dissonance, right? It'd probably sound better if this just didn't have a C pedal underneath, but... What if we did these on triplets, though? What about triplets, though? What if we continue to perpetuate the myth that this is in 4/4? Actually, okay, let's change the harmony in the little chunkas. So this needs to sound like E minor-y. So let's change the bass note, that'll help. Let's change this to an E. And then we actually do have to change the staccato. We can't have an... this needs to probably stay up here. Let's find out. And then this needs to be, what is it? Let's see, of course it's going to be for 4, right? Of course it's 4. Why wouldn't it be anything else? Boom. Let's just move all of these for now. Ooh, not the region. Let's just move all of these for now. Let's cheat. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, we obviously got to change this thing. This needs to just be... let's try that, and then... Ooh, almost out of reveal the range. And let's just repeat it. I like stating this theme again. It's a nice... It gives us something to do. Because I'd like this track to be fairly lengthy. I may have to revise my... Good. And so then all we gotta do is change this to like a G major tonality. Cheat. Did I move that over? Oh, I did. Dum. Oh, really? I thought that was going to be okay up there, but obviously I can't read music or something. It's because it's got an E, that's why. Let's move down to a D. We don't want this. We don't want this to sound 7-y. I kind of like it going back to C. Okay. And of course, Celeste, why not? And now... I promise this makes sense. I like that suspension there at the end. More than I thought I would, I should say. What if we did just root and third here? What happens when we do that? This is probably too loud because it's the third. So we could do something based on that. That thing that I love so much from earlier. Why does that sound like I have no reverb on it at all? I wonder if my staccato articulation channels are not going through the reverb. I need to go probably check that later. Of course I will forget to check it, because I'm not going to check it now, but... Oh, here we can abuse the mark tree. Precious. Just the right amount of precious, too. Humor me for a moment. I know I do this too often, but I really want to see what some nice crotales. Something like that would sound like. Sounds too much like Christmas. Yeah, it sounds too much like Christmas. Even when I'm not playing a Christmas song. Okay, cool. Cool means. Let's save it. You like your beans warm? This makes no frickin' sense in the universe, and I refuse to remove it. I refuse. Come at me, bro. I am not getting rid of this. It makes no frickin' sense. This is delightful. I love that guitar sample. Evolution Songwriter from Orange Tree Samples. By the way. What if we didn't have this? What's something from earlier maybe? I think the problem. Okay. All right. I'm waffling. On that middle part. Let's save, because saving is a great excuse to not have to think about composition, because it's saving. I can't compose while it's saving, right? Okay, I gotta go into like deep thinking mode here. What if it did make sense because it was sort of repeated, like... Other than missing that one obvious note. Not in triplets, please. So does that, okay, just as an idea, I don't think I like that by itself, but like if we play just this part where it transitions into this nonsensical lyrical section in the middle where it just completely loses all of its bouncy character and goes into this and then comes back. What if we make that like a feature, not a bug? So we go back into the bouncy part. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3. I can already tell you I'm not going to like it. I know I'm not going to like it. It's that change from triple to duple. So it can't go to a duple meter because it's too, it just sounds, I think that's part of the problem, or at least, and a clue to the problem is the return to duple there just doesn't make any sense. But earlier when we went into the slower section that made no sense. One, two, three, four, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's still duple. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 1 and 2, and 3, and 1 and 2, and 3. I like this. 2, 3, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and good. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that's kind of nice. It's nice. It's not going to make any sense though. We're going to get it. Ideally, this might be backed by other stuff. And maybe change tempo the same way that the other one did. I like that variant of the main idea. It's cool. So this dropped to, or this increased to 150 here. This increased to 150. It didn't slow down. So that's, we've established that's not going to work. Let's listen to. That's not going to work. So let's listen to the original here. So this has other themes in it. The legato in this is so over articulated. Oh, this theme. We could use this theme maybe. Have a little statement of it here to sort of, because this is in 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Something else we could write in triplets instead of in the correct signature. It's got a fun little harmony there too. So this is just from a set of like demo themes I did for this game. It's got that same Mixolydian lowered subtonic feel too, which we've been sort of hammering on this one. I'm gonna have to go figure out how it went though. Holy horns, Batman, jeez. Okay, let's try this one. This one right here. Boom, ba, 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 ba. Okay, let's see if that makes sense here. So we're in C, so the we could even keep the little try that. I'm such a garbage piano player. Good, we can fix that, we can fix it, we can fix it. Except for it's not right. Oh, there. That's just That's just got... Quantization tries to figure out my playing and fails. Dun dun dun. This is so easy. It's probably a quad triplet though, which is probably one of the things that's keeping, yeah. We can just, let's do this. Let's cheat again. Halfway through the bar is here. Do 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 do. Perfection. And I think it actually makes sense. And I think we can keep the little bouncy string thing going underneath it so it doesn't even sound like it's like a sudden change. Because... Is that a nice little... Sorry. And that can lead into like a dun 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 dun. What is this usually doing back here? Okay, let's do that. Grab this. Go like this. Easy. Easy, so easy, right? And I think something else should be coming in, obviously, in our... Perfect. Let's add the bass to reinforce those chords. We might even be able to do like a G minor there, like we've been doing earlier. How often do these change when they do this little dink dink dink? What if, and just, you know, just spitballing here, what if instead of writing all this new stupid crap, we just used what was working perfectly well earlier? Does that work? Nope, it doesn't work because I don't remember how that goes, apparently. I thought that went C to B flat. No, it goes the other way, B flat to C. Could go into a little minor section. I think that's the easiest thing to do. Triplet, raspberry, raspberry. Changes. Now that up there does not change to B flat at 100, but this will. I mean at 101, but it could. So this is one of those times where you're just clawing out every measure. It doesn't sound right to change to B flat there, but if it's a transition, what if there's like a, not that. It's an octave lower. We'll just make it a variation. Instead of going back down to E, it's going to go back down to D. What if we did an oboe? No, let's do something else. Ugh. Like it's like a little forest flute. Da, da, da. There you go. Clawing out every measure. And then it could be like a call and response. Yeah, and actually, yeah, it'll like overlap. And of course that will do the same. Fight for every note. We could even have a third. Yeah, let's actually pay attention while we record instead of thinking about the track we're going to record next. And that has a nice transition feeling to it if we allow it to come down in volume through this. Let's let this legato transition and kind of do this sort of a deal where it sort of goes away. We can let these be separated, I think. Okay. In context, I'm sure that makes no sense and is completely worthless, right? Or John Williams, I would have some beautiful like string arpeggio there, but there's no way I can render that. I like the like passing the melody around. That's good. The passing of the melody is really nice. It's not as good as bum 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 bum, but it's nice. We could have this flute continue, maybe? Change to G major. No. I mean, yes, maybe change G major, but... It's weird there's like no one watching because this sounds great and you're fairly personable. You know. Creative is hard. I don't stream because for the audience, you know, this is for a game, you know, I make my livelihood with the music anyway. I just stream because it's nice to have some interaction while I'm working. Thanks for stopping by. You know, sometimes I think people get a little bothered by the fact they have to repeat stuff over and over and over and over and over again to be able to hear how it sounds, but... something like that. And there's a lot of people that lurk here, I've noticed. We could do something like that. So, you know, it's a thing. Ooh. 7 chord. Oh, we're up against this duple thing again. Where I am thinking in 4. The piece is not in 4. It's in 12. It's in 6. It's in 3. It's in triple meter. See if we can think in 3. 2, 3, 1. Duncan, 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 Duncan. Okay, there's 2 measures. That's good. Fighting for 2 measures. No. Wait. Did I get the chords right there? The quantization went a little nuts. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to put it in the, well, I did 80. So we're at measure 102. We're at measure 102. Do we put it in the correct time signature now? Because if I put it in 12 here, over here, suddenly now I kill my ability to move all this stuff that's in the wrong meter, that's written in the wrong meter, over easily. What if we did this? Let's put it in 3/4 and have sort of another. Actually, let me just try something real fast. Let's see. You know, if I don't stream, I just get email after email after email. Why aren't you streaming anymore? All right, let's do this. Let's grab all of this minus the suspended symbol and ask ourselves, what does it sound like here? Gives our flute player no rest. It sounds like garbage. Is this in... So I think we do our piano thing. We can do our little... that thing we were playing with earlier. Let's try it again. See, I mean, this is, I think, trying for some people when I have to, like, try over and over and over again to record, too. Oh, I quantized those incorrectly. There we go. Well, yeah. I really like that, and I don't think it makes any sense here. But that's so nice. And it's a new tonality, so there's that little bit of fact that it's a new tonality that kind of kicks in there. Whoa, what just happened? Bum 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 ba 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 ba. Obviously, we're gonna have to mess with the tempo here because it's way too fast. I need to maybe go ba 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 ba. We actually don't have enough beats to do a dee-do-dee-do. Oh, yes, we do. I'm just bad at life. Okay. I really like this little piano part. This may be my favorite thing we've done so far today. Oh, that is nice and way, way too fast. Okay. 130. What do we think this tempo should actually be at? Is it twice as fast as it needs to be? I think this is going to be a mistake here, but we know we're going to have to modify the tempo, so we might as well make the... Yep. Let's go down by 10. I mean, that figure is obviously using ideas that aren't super original, but it works. So, wait, where's my suspended symbol? It's 3 measures actually. Sorry, it's 3 measures before. Okay. 1, 2, 3. With strings, this is going to sound lush and nonsensical, and I am keeping it, and I do not care that we have now done this twice. We're going to make it. We're going to embrace it. We're going to love the fact that there are nonsensical changes. You know what helps when you're a musician is the ability to play the piano. It does. Okay, I only marginally messed that one up. And we need to make this like this, and we need to go like this. We need to grab all these notes, and we need to make the velocity 100,000%. Yeah, I just didn't connect those. That was the biggest. Oh. I don't know why that stupid little melody that does nothing original, and a key change that moves from C major to G major, which is done 1.5 million times. Why that affects me, but I love it. I love it. It helps that it's prepared by all this woodwind stuff, too. This needs to be less terrible. Let's think about the phrasing. How are we going to shape that phrase? So I think we're going to definitely have a little swell through these. That's not enough of a swell. Maybe like that. It's not starting at the right volume. And we may actually put that on. So a thing I like to do occasionally is to take a melody like that that's pretty high and put it in my second violins and then put my first violins actually underneath so that the lower melody has more players and has that sort of stronger V1 section feel. Something I do all the time. But I think here it makes more sense to have the big open V1s on top. If I had like a stream bingo, I feel like me putting my hands on my chest like this would be like one of the spaces. What note is the piano playing that is wrong there? The piano is playing da 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 da. I mean, it's so corny, really, but I just don't care. Keeping it. And then there will be chords there, and the strings aren't just going to stop there for the horns. The problem with this, I think, right now is that it's very cold. So let's increase the vibrato. Okay, and then so who is going to be doing the? Here's a big, giant, hairy question: who's going to be doing the arpeggios, the violas or the cellos? Let's punt that question for a second and just record our double basses. That holds for 2 measures, but that's easy to fix. Expression. I really want it to be the cellos because I feel like the cellos are going to give us the most bang for our arpeggiated buck here. I think that's going to sound the best. Let's solo our low strings and see if we can sort of sneak this in. Oh, it helps if you select the correct track. In fact, let's actually move it over just a little bit so I can get the nice count in. So there's only one thing in there that sounded wonky to me. One thing sounded wonky. Let's figure out what it was. It was that this was late. That was part of it. Yeah, it was here, too. I was late here. Right now, this is all one phrase. Okay, let's see what that sounds like underneath all of our other stuff. It's not loud enough, and it's too cold. We're going on about 2 hours and 45 minutes today. I usually only stream for about 90, so... Yeah. Good call, Slimy. Good call, Slimy. Good call. Can we reinforce the cellos? I want to double the cello, but the patch I loaded doesn't have that G down there. but which is weird. Let's use the equal. Let's use the equal SO harp. So wet. So wet. Wow, and it's really loud. I have it mixed in too loud. Why is it, like, incredibly wet? I'm gonna have to go fix that harp. We could also just do a harp glissandi here. Also, we still don't have our viola in here, and I have a viola along, and I think we're gonna not cheat because we can. Obviously, it's totally possible for our violas to play sixths. And then maybe up here so that it doesn't double that too much. Does that use expression? It uses modulation, okay. Okay, let's put it at a thing. We're just going to put in some double stops in our viola here to fill out these chords. Just to have some extra stuff there. I do agree that some harp in there will fix it. You know what? Let's just record it on some just generic triads, maybe. How would you do the harp? That's a good question. I actually think you're a more competent orchestrator, especially with virtual instruments, than I am. Would you double the cello? Let's try that, because we can lose that G by doing this. Or the piano, maybe? Or would you put it in a glissando? Maybe copying the cello block arpeggio with extra notes. That's kind of what I was doing here. Yeah, I know where you're coming from with the not being able to explain in text. The problem is, for whatever reason, I don't know which harp patch I've loaded now, but it doesn't have that low G. Way down here. Where is it? This one. So I have to kind of... The thing is because I have the Bibliskli one, or whatever it's called. Bibliglissando or whatever. I am woefully ignorant in my harp orchestration knowledge because I missed that day of class in college, honestly. I mean, I literally have, let's see if I can find this. I literally have a score where I just like punt on the harp part and just basically tell them, play something nice. Where is it? In this one. In this score. There's a part where like I just punt on the harp. I'm just like, hey, do what you want. Where is it? Where is it? It's after this 5/8 section. Where is it? You can see it because there's a giant arrow in the heart part. Yeah. Okay. So, we have some glissandi here in B minor, right? View, zoom in. We have some glissandi in the harp, to sort of fill out this stuff. And then it's just, do what you want, getting louder until the arrow is done. Yeah, I agree with the brass chord thing. I think that's definitely going to need to happen to fill it out. I think another thing that's going to really help is this is completely unshaped, right? So right now it's just 71 volume, and that's not how a real cello player would play it. How would a real cello player play it? A cello player would probably ya da 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 would probably. I don't want to edit it up there. Logic, I want to edit it down here. He'd probably lean into these parts, right? Yeah, I think the brass chords will definitely. Same thing here. Adds so much to have that in there. And this doesn't need to come all the way back down, though. And actually, we need to be careful here because this is a fifth, and but this can get louder. And the warmth too would come up. The warmth would also sort of gradually increase through those, I think. So, and this is sounding weird because of this. It's trying to make a legato transition there, which we don't want, obviously. Part of it's just a sample. I mean, this is yet again how you fight with sample instruments. It would be so wonderful to just hand this arpeggio to a real cello player who would put all this stuff in it for us and who would control the beginnings and endings of these notes. And it would probably cool off here quite a bit. I would probably come down in volume more too. Maybe not quite that much. That's gonna sound that may see, and this is yet again fighting with samples. That sounds lovely on its own. I bet you it sounds overmixed when you actually put it with everything else. Oh, it doesn't. Now let's just do parallel fifths. Actually, no, we don't need to do parallel fifths. We can just hold on a G. Sorry about the horrible singing. It helps me think. G, D. This can kind of do this and maybe come back a little bit. D, oh, that sounds. That D being nice and quiet. Ooh. Okay, let's keep our violas going on that too. So our cello is going D or G, D. Our chords are C, D, first and verse D 6/3. So maybe E. Let's try that. Oh, that's right. It changes to G there in the middle. So that's a nice dub. That's actually a nicely voiced chord on accident. Way to go, me. Oh, the perils of MIDI orchestration. You're always fighting samples. You're always fighting them. See, even this. Oh, I love the way that was voiced. I sometimes have a hard time with chord voicing with these specific instruments. A lot of the times because I don't use my long patches enough to fill out chords, because I am so used to this, this. Just, one track for violin, one track for violin two, one track for viola, one track for cello, one track for double bass, and so I tend to not always use the articulations in a way that maximizes their effectiveness, I guess is what I would say. I bet you that sounds dope with everything else. The cello's a little loud. This is a little loud now too, but that's easy to fix because we just bring it down like this. Because one of the things I try to do too is I try to keep MIDI orchestration. I try not to cheat. I try not to do things like earlier I had a bunch of short and pizzicato tracks hanging over long tracks. So there's not enough sections. I would have to like do all sorts of weird divisi to do something like this here. So I try not to do that because I found that it helps things sound a little bit better. Legato horns are hard. Legato horns are really hard. This one. I mean, did you hear? I mean, just jeez. It basically goes. Actually, it goes. So I agree with you. That's hard. It's hard. That's I think an error. I don't know about. I mean, that's a big leap, so that one's probably a little bit different, but I think there's a mistake in that sample. Well, I mean, some of it, I understand why they record it, because that's how that's how a real, 9 times out of 10, how a real player would do it. That one's particularly egregious. I didn't mean to fix that one. Like, that one's better. That one's really good. So C to A. I mean, yeah. And if you use the hard velocities, it almost goes away. But I mean, if you listen to brass music, I mean, yeah, you get that in there sometimes. So I think they keep it in there for a little bit of realism, but also, I don't know. Like, maybe I don't want. What if I'm in B flat? What if I'm in B flat? I'm going from here to here. Having a sharp do is gonna sound weird. Anyway. This needs to be shaped, of course. Let's listen to it on its own, now that we're thinking about brass. See, hear how... Oops, I didn't mean to mute you. I meant to show the modulation. Let's see how much just peaking our velocity changes it. So it fixes some of it. Part of this one is that it's just too early here. I think we can have like a backing off pretty fast here. And then brass players and singers and string players tend to put a little dip. just a little one though. So I sing professionally, which you would never guess based on how poorly I sing into this mic sometimes. But if I was singing this professionally, say if it had words, if it just was on like la, the way I would sing is la da 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 da, and I would actually crescendo through that, not do this little dip. Or well, I would do the dip, but I would bring this up like that. Actually needs to come up a little earlier. That's still a little awkward. I think we want the dip to be gone, actually. Yes, I agree with you. And I wish that that particular one that we were just looking at, I wish that changed with the volume. Yeah, or you can just put a solo in there and let it be the transition. Sometimes I will double the 6 horns when it or like say this, so the 6 horns is a problem patch now. I will have the 6 horns play. So let's just go do it. Like here. So we don't like that, right? We don't want that sloppy legato. We'll say it's loud. We don't want that sloppy legato. So let's get rid of legato, just like you said. Just totally get rid of legato. Just take out the transition. And then you take the solo horn and you go. And you let it be the transition. And so you still have the transition. You have to put the modulation, obviously. Oops, where'd it go? Sometimes you have to... So you still have the nice transition, but it's dumb that you have to go in and do that for that one interval sometimes. I agree with you. Most of the time, if it's doubled on another instrument, you're not going to hear that bang. Anyway, I don't know. When I sing, like I said, I sing professionally, so I sing in a choir, and we sing in an orchestral setting quite a bit. I do notice in not just the same orchestra, but in multiple orchestras, that horns in particular seem to sort of slide around a little bit like that anyway, normally. So I agree with you from a library perspective. Maybe that's not the best choice. This is still a little aggressive. We fell in love with our cello too much. Let's drop it down to like 100. Okay, I think that's actually going to be what we end on. Let's listen to the whole thing and make sure everything's sounding pretty good. But it's almost 4 o'clock my time. I got to be heading out pretty soon, so... Folksy, bouncy, ambient, not in the way. Everything that these legato sections aren't, that I'm going to keep in anyway. on those cimbalin notes. Balance issues here, but sound even better when it's got the full reverb on it. There's going to be a bit of a pitch change here when the reverb kicks in. We're just going to go with a preset, of course. That's a little too much. I want to hear that little ba-da-da-da-ding. Still a little loud. Well, I need to go in and mess with it with monitors. It's hard to tell with just headphones. Cello's still a little bit over the top there, but we'll work on it. It's better. We'll do an ending. Okay, cool. That is in really good shape, and actually I'm going to stop because I have a very clear sense just listening to that of where I know it's going to go, which is how I like to leave things, hopefully. Either finishing a track or getting a track to a point where I know exactly upon listening, okay, this is the next thing that's going to happen. So we're going to call that the end of the stream today. A quick little bit of self-promo. First of all, before I do that, thank you everybody for stopping by and for all of your comments. It's been a really lively stream today. I really enjoyed everybody stopping by. We've had tons of chat. Really interesting discussions. That's really, really fun for me. It really makes the sort of composing is such a lonely activity. Sometimes you just sort of go off by yourself and make something and you don't know if it's good or if it's trash. And then you put it away for a week and bring it back to a week and realize, oh, it's not trash, maybe, most of the time. Sometimes you realize it's trash. Anyway, I did notice today, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, I found like that I had taken Stardance, which is on my album, which album is it on? Short Stories. It's in 5/8, little 5/8 piece. Nothing, it has no, it's not musically interesting, I think, other than maybe the meter, and I like the melody in the meter. But for some reason, back when I made it, I like wrote it out in the score. So I'm going to post that if anybody wants to check out what the score to that piece looks like. I will post this in the chat and you can peruse it at your leisure. Please respect the watermark and don't duplicate and send it around. I just, would like to have that privilege myself. I'll post that in the chat and I'll try to put that in the description for the video if you're watching this on YouTube as well. As always, you can pick up my music if you just go to my website, which is my name. You can go to this link that says albums, and that just takes you straight to my Bandcamp, which is currently Staxeled out because Staxel recently launched. I would also encourage you to look into the game if sort of a Harvest Moon meets Minecraft meets Stardew Valley sounds good to you. Definitely the niche we're looking for there. So that soundtrack along with the For Other Half Staxel Volume 0 are available. A lot of different stuff here for you to listen to, including my most popular one, Starbound. All 54 tracks. This is the only place on the internet, by the way, where you get all the tracks, all 54 tracks, plus 3 bonus tracks. So, yeah, if you want to pick those things up, that is where you can find them. A little note that I want to put a little promotion towards Todd Edwards. He's got a great YouTube channel. I was on it and interviewed on it a week or 2 ago, maybe 2 weeks. I can't exactly remember when, but he's been doing his track reviews videos. I watched one today. It was really nice. He's also got a Discord. I've got Discord open right now on that, so I try to keep Discord open to the extent that it makes sense for me. I can't say that I'm in there all the time, but I will try to stop by and say hi. But yeah, I'd really recommend Todd K. Edwards' YouTube channel. It's really great. He's also got a Twitch channel, and he does really great work and really gives some pretty interesting stuff. So those are my little self promos. If you're watching this on YouTube, I guess it's like really good if you like push the little buttons at the bottom, but I don't actually care because YouTube has taken away my monetization. So do what you want. Leave nothing. Leave no comments. Don't like the video. Don't dislike the video. I actually don't really care. But those are there, and it does, I guess, maybe progress me back towards getting that monetization status back if you do that, maybe. I don't know. So if you want to do that, the best way to help me out and support me is to purchase an album. That's my primary way that I get paid outside of client fees. So that's really helpful. That keeps me on the air and allows me to purchase all the nice equipment that I use to make all this music. So also check out other composers that I recommend. Slimy was in the chat. He's got a great SoundCloud channel, I guess. I don't know what those are called. SoundCloud page. I think it's under the same name, something Slimy. He's really great. Todd Edwards also makes music. Morwick was in the stream today talking quite a bit at the beginning. If you go look at the most recent Todd Edwards feedback page, he's got a nice piece in there with some strings and piano and all sorts of fun stuff. So anyway, it's a wonderful composition. I really encourage you to look into the work of other composers because they all do really great work, and we all sort of rise in fortune when one of us does. So I really try to make sure that I point out other great musicians. So a quick programming note. I will be out of town this Monday attending a funeral. We had a death in the family. So I will not be on because I will be out of town. But I will be resuming the stream on Wednesday afternoon is the current plan. So hopefully I will see everybody there. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much. And I will see everyone later. Bye, everybody.